It's Fred Warderific.
It's James Hong hysterical.
It's Ninja Robicized.
It's Chop Socky craziness.
It's Chuncredible.
You're gonna blow out your blue jeans. It's the Hell Ming Pow Hour. Whoop whoop.
Ooh.
All right now.
Gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe, here in this bog of dead trees, are the most powerful forces of podcasters ever assembled. Rick Morgan, child of the 70s and defender of the 80s. Danny Bennett, small in stature, tall in power, narrow of purpose, and wide of vision, and their space monkey Glee, searching the galaxy for Christ to kill, dedicated to horror, science fiction, and movies that are just cool for all mankind. And now, the ones responsible for Hillary Clinton's emails, Rik and Danny.
Hey there, people.
All right.
Welcome back.
Glad to have you back in the house. Hey, everybody. Glad to have you back. Remember, we're doing kind of a flashback old show. We got ninjas. We got crazy stuff going on. Strap yourselves down and make it worthwhile. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Glad to have you with us. We're going to have a fun time today, tonight, whatever it is to you guys. To us, it's night. Could be day.
You can listen to it anytime.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, because ninjas do care about a lot of things. They care about golf courses and killing people, but they don't care about what time you listen to our show.
Yeah, we got two great movies. This is, episode 18? I believe we're sneaking up on here. Getting close to that 20
adults.
mark. We got some surprises coming up throughout the month of October. Hopefully, we're going to pull off some neat stuff going on there. So, but we got ninjas. We got martial arts. We've got James Hong.
Yeah. We haven't had James Hong on this show since episode 2?
Right. Jaws 2.
The Olympics. Jaws 2, the Olympics.
Jaws 2, the Olympics.
He managed to get into the backstroke competitions. We're never the same.
Yeah, it was a bad choice to have Jaws represent the USA in the Olympics. Although he came in first.
He came in first. He came in last. He came in everywhere in between. Until Louis Gossett Jr. got there, and then
yeah.
It's like when Louis Gossett Jr. was in The Punisher, and that guy tried to stop him, and he just took that whole pizza box and put it in his face. You can't stand in Louis Gossett Jr.'s way.
You can't handle the Lou. All right.
That sounds bad. We've got some international listeners, and for them, we're talking about Louis Gossett Jr., not the Lou.
Right.
You can't handle the Lou.
You can't handle the Lou. So, yeah, we got two great movies. We got the incredible, absolutely bonkers. I can't wait to talk about this one particularly. Ninja 3, The Domination. If you haven't seen it, I recommend that you stop listening right now. Go find a copy of it. At least go watch the trailer, because there is nothing like this movie out there. But then a personal favorite of Danny and mine's both.
Danny and mine's both. Enemy minds, Danny and mine's.
You can't handle the Lou.
You can't handle the Lou.
A favorite movie of ours, man, that we just grew up with and we love, and a lot of you have too. Get to talk about some Remo Williams, so we're excited about that one too.
Remo Williams.
All right. So if Danny doesn't have anything else to say, that's your cue.
do. As a matter of fact, I want to say that you can listen to this episode before going to watch Ninja 3, The Domination, and I'll tell you why. Because you will listen to this and you'll say, they are making stuff up, like they always do. They're making stuff up, then you're going to go, we didn't. Because we're not going to make anything up. We don't have to.
Well, if you don't hear
Hail Ming, then
you know we're not lying. And I'm telling you, I mean, Jaws 2, the Olympics, deserved
Hail
one.
Ming.
But Ninja 3
might have been better too.
It doesn't need a Hail Ming. It's incredible. No. So, we'll be right back. We'll see you in just a few seconds, folks.
The Hail Ming Power Hour is brought to you by Cyberdyne Industries. Skynet is fully aware. And loyal subjects of Mongo like you. Hail Ming!
Okie dokie, people. Like I said a while ago, it's Ninja 3, man. This movie, there's just no words to describe it. I remember it being crazy as a kid, but even going back and watching it now blows my mind. It's hard to believe that they just pretty much took every 80s trope you can think of, put it all into one movie. Even the kitchen sink, man, this movie's got everything in it. If you want to show somebody, when somebody says, hey, what is the 80s about? Ninja 3.
Ninja 3 could be the predecessor for Kung Fury.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
It was, except without the fact that they were making a joke movie. I mean, it was serious.
Right. You don't feel like you're watching a movie where they're trying to make a bad movie. This is just what came out. So enough yapping about that. We'll go ahead and get going. To give us a great synopsis on Ninja 3 is a crappy Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ninja 3, The Domination, also known as the greatest movie of all time.
There you go.
A 1984 movie, rated R, 92 minutes long, action, fantasy, thriller. An evil ninja attempts to avenge his death from beyond the grave by possessing an innocent woman's body. A 4.9 out of 10. It has the greatest actor of all time, Bobby Craig. The writer, James R. Silk E. And also the quote to remember is, there's one thing. What? In the Iga region in Japan, there is one power that can destroy him. Japan? Only a ninja can destroy a ninja.
Destroy.
Only a ninja can destroy a ninja.
Well, you know, that's probably true.
And I think probably the writers of this movie didn't know that much about Japan, because I'd like to see if there is an Eagle region of Japan. If there is, I'm not going there.
You might get destroyed if you go, man. Usually I ask Danny, I say, yes. Danny, why do you watch Ninja 3? And I'm going to kick this one off because I've got a list a mile long. It's going to be hard to fit this into one show, honestly. Why do you watch this movie? If you grew up in the 80s and you saw the Canon logo come up, these are the kind of movies you were going to get. Matter of fact, when I think of Canon, this is the movie I think of. It's just incredible. So, Ninja 3, The Domination, it's just unbelievable. Why is it unbelievable? Ninja exorcism.
Ninja exorcism. I mean, it is so canon that it even has Lucinda Dickey from Breakin' in it.
Right.
As the, of course, aerobics instructor line worker who gets possessed by a ninja. I mean, how far-fetched is that? But she's possessed, right? So there has to be a ninja exorcism.
So
it's just that simple.
And the fact of, I mean, hey, let's take Flashdance and throw the Exorcist in there, but make it a ninja movie.
Well, I'm going to have to stop us right here, and I'm going to have to say the reason to watch Ninja 3, The Domination, is got to be the first 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it starts out, you know, with the ninja getting equipped for battle, and that's a neat enough little sequence, but he just jumps right in.
I love the fact he's dressed like Don Johnson. Did you notice that? He's got and he just struts into this cave.
And of course, in the cave, there's you push the stalagmite over and there's a lit table full of ninja implements.
He pushes a button and it just slides out like it's all pneumatic.
He gears up. He goes to a golf course where there's a scientist. We know he's a scientist because it's mentioned once in the movie and never again. And he kills this guy, the guy's bodyguards, and about 35, 50 cops.
Right. So here's two things you learn right off the bat. Ninjas hate golf, and ninja hates cops.
That's right.
That's all you need to know about this movie, man.
And you can't run down a ninja in a car, and you can't get away from a ninja in a golf cart.
I've got a list of everything that kind of happens here pretty quick, so I'll just kind of run through. The guy hits the golf ball over there. He picks up the golf ball. He squeezes the golf ball. That's another thing, too. He hates balls. You see that several times in the movie, so it's always a show of strength. Takes a golf ball and just crushes it in his hand.
Ninja hate balls.
Yes. And then he just goes insane, killing everybody, man. He's got ninja stars. One guy pulls out a gun and goes to shoot. He pulls out a blow dart. And he blows the blow dart into the barrel of the gun before the guy shoots. The guy shoots, and of course it backfires and kills the guy that's got the gun. RoboCop couldn't pull that off, man. That's some shots right there.
The ninja is a demonic, spectral, superhuman force, and bodyguards and scientists and cops they can't do it.
That's right. He's taking off and he's doing just like Buddy did in Christine, which we don't recommend. Remember what we said: if somebody's chasing you down, running down the middle of the road where the car can still go, it's probably not the best of ideas. But
not a good idea.
This is a ninja, totally different. So he's running, and he even, there's two motorcycle cops coming at him. It's kind of like Smokey and the Bandit, but he's not in a car. Because he's going past cops. They're having to turn around, come back, and go back and chase him. He's running, and he lets the car catch up kind of right behind him. He does a backwards somersault flip while running, lands on top of the cop car. He stabs through the roof of the car, stabs with a sword, and stabs one of the cops in the back of the neck with a sword. And you're thinking, wow, he's pretty strong. What he does next is even more incredible, because he just rams his hand through the roof and kills the guy that's driving.
He kills him with his hand.
With his hand.
The driver.
And then he stands up and looks. There's motorcycle cops behind him, and he just starts flipping some ninja stars back about 50 feet, knocking them off of motorcycles. And then while that's going on, he's on top of the car. Then he throws the grappling hook, swings off the car, and just like Smokey and the Bandit, man, the cop cars just go right off in the river, right? And the guys on the motorcycle go off in the river. So you think, okay, he got rid of the cops. Nope. Here comes a helicopter, a cop helicopter. So we've already established he hates cops. So instead of running from the helicopter, he goes after it, climbs a tree to the very top. I don't know if he uses some kind of cop bait. I don't know if he's waving a donut or something that gets him to come close enough. But he just jumps on the helicopter.
Not cool, man.
Not cool.
Hail Ming. Cop bait.
Cop bait. There you go. We'll keep it PC. But
no, it's all good. It's all good.
But he jumps on the helicopter, gets one dude, knocks him off, and the guy that's flying, there's two cops left. Well, there's one that's flying, there's one that's just running around trying to shoot him. So he can't really get to the guy that's flying. So what does he do? He takes a ninja star, puts it between his toes, flicks it in there, and hits the guy flying the helicopter right in the temple with a ninja star. That's what we're dealing with here, folks. This is the first 5 minutes of the movie.
It's the first 5 minutes of the movie. And, what kept striking me was, he was there to kill somebody, and he could have, at any of these stages, just kind of run off into the scrub and disappeared.
Right.
But he kept seeking more cops out to kill. He wasn't just getting away with murder. He was taking the opportunity to keep killing more cops.
Right. Even to the point of playing dead to get them to come around so he could kill them some more.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a circle of cops. They're all shooting shotguns and machine guns and pistols. And they've shot him 50 times. And he's in the middle of this thing. And, so one of them comes over to check on him. And just like Jason Voorhees, he jumps up and starts chopping him up with his sword, because you can't kill it. Right. Because only a ninja can kill a ninja.
That's right. Cops are not ninjas. That's what this movie.
Except Ninja Cop.
Except Samurai Cop. That's a different
Samurai
show.
Cop is not a ninja. He could kill a samurai, but not a ninja.
And I love the fact that while he's being shot, he has a photographic memory. I don't know if they teach this in ninja school. And he remembers every guy that shoots him. And I'm telling you, there's 25 guys standing around him, and he remembers each and every one.
And it's great because they do like the little like zoom in on all their faces.
It's all
like,
slow-mo.
Like dun dun dun. There's another one. Dun dun dun. There's another one because it comes back later and it's like, oh, well, somebody passes by the possessed girl and dun dun dun. That guy shot me. I'm gonna get him.
So during all this, when he's getting shot, I guess he decides, oh, I'm kind of in trouble here. So like any ninja does, he throws the ninja smoke bomb, right? And he disappears. He pulls a David Copperfield on him, and he's gone. And they're all looking around, and they think he must have ran off. He buried himself in the ground, man. He threw the smoke.
He's underground.
He buried himself in the gravel right there where he was standing. That's a bad dude.
And one of the cops is like, "We gotta get this guy."
So when they leave, he pops up out of the ground, and you think, okay, this can't get any crazier. Oh yeah. So
Rick, wait, hold on a minute.
okay.
All this right here, this wasn't the whole movie?
This is just character development.
This is what passes for character development in Ninja 3, The Domination.
Yeah. So that's my big run of why you should watch the first 10 to 15 minutes of this movie. You're gonna watch the rest of it because you saw this part of the movie. There's no denying it, because you gotta see how this crazy thing ends.
If you are not hooked by then you're not human.
Right. You just might as well go watch, Gone with the Wind or something, because this is not your kind of movie.
Oh, look, On Golden Pond is on. I guess I'll watch that instead of Ninja 3, The Domination.
Man.
And those are things that you will not hear in my house.
So yeah, another reason to watch it, we kind of said a while ago, Lucinda Dickey, man. She becomes like you said, the phone operator or phone repair person that climbs the poles and works on the phone lines. Then she's also an aerobics instructor who gets possessed by a ninja spirit.
Which gives her 3 jobs.
Yeah, so she works hard for her money.
She does. I mean, like, there's a point where the ninjas got her so messed up that she's just got to do some aerobics to try and get it out of her head. I'm not kidding, people.
But even after she goes out and does the biddings of the spirit, she comes home and does more slam dancing, basically. So, it's the 80s, folks. I don't know what else to tell you. So like I said, you got your flash dance kind of set up. And I love the introduction because you think you're getting kind of the montage thing because she's climbing the pole, working on the telephone lines. You got the music playing and it's real bad. I need a lover right now. All this kind of stuff, right? super 80s music. And she sees somebody stumbling out in the wilderness, so she climbs back down, and she's got a jam box playing, and she turns the song off. I just love that, because it's like full-on montage level music, right? And she just kills it so she can go talk to this guy. Gets down, and Don Johnson Samurai's got his sword, and he's trying to call her to him, so she goes over to check on him thinking, he's just hurt or whatever, and he grabs her, then grabs the sword, and kind of attacks her and stuff. She don't know what's going on, but...
And this falls into a number of really strange decisions by our main character, heroine. This decision where she beats him in some, wrestling combat, where he's trying to choke her.
Right.
And then she's about to get away, and he just yells at her in Japanese.
Right.
Maybe it's Japanese. We don't really know.
Yeah.
But he yells at her and she stops and comes back and lets him hand her the sword.
He found somebody that he couldn't defeat.
Right. He said, "You are skilled in the ways of aerobics, so you will become the new ninja." It's on the movie poster. As a matter, it might be the catch line that it's the what is it? The ultimate killing machine, and she's the ultimate weapon.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Yeah, or maybe it's the ultimate assassin and she's the ultimate weapon. So they're really playing on this. What if a really, really fit woman became a ninja? That's kind of the overarching plot.
I think the catch line was actually Ninja 3, The Domination, buy a bag.
Go. Home in a box?
I think that was it. I think they used that machine that cranks out the taglines.
That machine is gold, and I don't know why they don't still use it. And
even you heard Arnold Schwarzenegger say
lady's that crap.
This movie is known as the greatest movie ever made, so it's kind of hard to argue with.
I also want to nail down that she makes some dicey decisions, starting with taking the sword. She also there's a cop that kind of takes a shine to her, and she hates him and doesn't like him. He doesn't give her much reason to like him. And then all of a sudden, come on back to my place.
Come on to my place.
Let's do it.
Let's have some V8.
I mean,
so
this is something I want to talk to you people out there on, is that she becomes a ninja. She's being questioned about her encounter with this multiple murderer. This is also where you find out that he killed a scientist, by the way. This guy takes a shine to her. He's a cop. She doesn't want anything to do with him, over and over and over again. He keeps showing up. She almost gets raped by a bunch of dudes from the gym.
Right.
And they go to, she breaks up these guys, roughing up this aerobics girl. And then she beats them up with her ninja skills when they come after her. And then he takes this as an opportunity to drag her away and say, hey, I could get you hauled in for assault.
Right.
Like, what? And then, in that thing, she's like, look, officer, whatever your name is,
Wolf
because
Cop.
that's important.
Yeah.
Officer Wolf Cop. She says, I don't want your help. And he's like, hey, listen, I'm proud of being a cop. And then she's like, oh, hey, let's start going out. And let's have sex right now. I think the main problem is I see no reason to date that guy. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's got that smoking, and I mean literally smoking Alfa Romero that he's driving down the road.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming down through there and just like they're spraying for mosquitoes.
Well, here's the other thing in that scene. Another thing that bothered me. So, she fends off these guys. He doesn't help her. Like the 20 people around don't help her. And then he says, I could haul you in for assault for what you did to those guys. Then he drives her out in the middle.
Even though they were trying to rape her. I mean, everybody saw what was going on.
So then they drive out. He drives her out in the middle of nowhere. And she says, hey, I don't need your help. And he's like, all right, fine, get out. Yet another reason not to like this guy. It's like, where am I? You threw me in your car, drove me in the middle of nowhere, and now you're going to be indignant and say, get out? But of course, her decision, just like turning around and getting the sword, is dicey. And she says, hey, come on back to my place. I kind of like your spunk. Hail Ming. That was not a direct quote.
I don't know what to say about that.
Don't say anything.
She says, you stay in here and check things out. Oh, by the way, there's the bed over there. And I'm going to go in here and take a shower. I'll be right back. So she comes out, does a little burlesque kind of thing there for a second, has the towel on and kind of drops it off from the backside so you don't see anything, changes her shirt. He's about to blow a fuse. And then we get the scene. We get the scene where they get on the couch. And if you think the Howling 2 that we covered had some weird sex scenes, this one's probably got it beat. Because apparently they both really... It's either one of two things. They either really like V8 or V8 paid a big portion of this movie just to have the product in there.
Moving on. Inexplicably, they start dating. And like Rick said, it's not a good idea for him because this ninja hates cops. And I don't know if it was the ninja's ploy to get this guy close, because it certainly wasn't his charming personality that brought him to her. But still not a good idea.
So, yeah, you said dating. I mean, I don't think it was... I mean, the first night after they spend the night together is when things start happening. She wakes up in the middle of the night and hears some weird little noises and stuff. And out of the closet comes the glowing flying sword, or sword hanging off a string. Because it's got motion like it's just being swung off a string.
And I've got to say, I love this.
Oh, yeah.
I love this glowing sword coming out of the closet. I love it. The whole scene is awesome. Yeah. I love it.
I mean, it's everything you wanted a movie to be at this point, so why not?
Yeah. It's a demonic mystic ninja sword coming out of your closet in the middle of the night. It's awesome.
It don't get much cooler than that, man. That's pretty awesome.
I wish I had one in my closet right now.
The only thing cooler than that is what appears next. So the next reason to watch this movie, the reason it's even called Ninja 3, Sho Kosugi. He was in all of the ninja movies at this point. Revenge of the Ninja, Ninja 2, Ninja 3, Ninja 2, the Olympics.
Ming.
Yeah.
Remember when he was doing the pole vault?
He did the pole vault.
Ming.
So, Sho Kosugi, man, and you're probably going, I don't know who that is. Yeah, if you saw a picture of the guy, in this movie, he's got an eye patch on. At this point, he was what everybody associated with as the ninja. He was the go-to person with these movies. Made a ton of this stuff back in the day. He's awesome. He's cool. His acting is not that great, but he don't have to be. He just has to stand and look pretty cool and then just kick a bunch of butt. Next reason to watch it, though, video games are the devil. She hadn't gone full-on possessed just yet. Things go pretty crazy. You get a total poltergeist ripoff right here, man. Even to the point to where the closet doors open, there's a light in there, and all the furniture and everything starts sucking their way over to that doorway. She's hanging on to stuff, trying not to go into the light. And then all of a sudden, the video game turns around and corners her and starts shooting lasers out of it.
At least a third of the movie budget was probably spent on a beam splitter. So they had to find a way to use that beam splitter, and they stuck it in the video game console, which was probably the other third of the budget. You know, so we've got 2/3 of the budget in this scene right now.
But you know what? Just like the scene earlier, it looks awesome. I still like it. So she recognizes one of the cops when she's at the station, one of the ones that shot her when she was the dude, the Don Johnson ninja. So she decides that she's going to suit up, go to his house. Dude's just kind of hanging out, being Minnesota Fats, shooting a little pool. And she comes in, grabs one of the pool balls, crushes it with her hand, and knocks the dude off. So now they're starting to go, wait a minute, something's going on here. People are getting killed. And it's the other cop keeps calling and checking on her, and she's disappearing all the time these things are happening. So you're starting to get that kind of story going. Well, she's disappeared and all that kind of stuff, right? Where were you at this time? I tried to call.
And again, I've got they got to say the next morning, you know, the guy's dead on the ground. The paramedics are carrying him away. And, you know, what's going to be suspicious to you in this situation? You just saw the ninja. He was there with you. You know, the guy's been murdered. Well, the other ninja from Japan is just standing right there looking stony as hell. He's just over there watching the whole thing. And the cop, who's her boyfriend now, sees him and looks at him. And he doesn't make any, you know, he doesn't like smile or walk away or anything. It's like, man, that guy did it. I was got to say the billiard ball thing, you know, there was a precedent earlier on the golf course, you know. Right. They're looking, hey, find my golf ball. And the bodyguard goes there and the ninja cracks the golf ball and blows it in his face. Hey, you got a problem? It's like, well, no, you got a problem. And it's called Ninja-itis.
Right. Coming at you. Ninja-itis.
Ninja-itis.
That's the next movie, man. We've got to do that. That'll be our next Hail Ming movie. Ninja-itis.
Ninja-itis.
I want people out there that's listening, if you come up with a logo or something for our new movie. Ninja-itis. The Olympics.
Ninja-itis. This time, it's for real.
This time, it's for real.
That's the best I got.
That's pretty awesome. Ninja-itis. Yep. I expect to see t-shirts of Ninja-itis out there. So, movie posters. It's going to be awesome. I can tell.
So, with soundtrack by Daryl D.B. Cooper.
Absolutely. So we've knocked off the one cop that's got the billiard table, which is apparently his only crime between shooting ninjas. He has a pool table. Yeah. But you got to love this next guy. The guy that looks like Ben Stiller's dad, and he picks up the two chicks at the cop station, and he takes them back to the hot tub. I don't even know what to tell you folks, man. This probably makes no sense more than anything else in the movie. Because these girls are like young, hot girls, and it's just this dude, man, with the comb-over hair. And
hey, he was like, hey, gals, you want to get out of this ticket?
That's probably what it was.
Come on over here to this Asian spa, and we're going to hot tub it for a while.
So, just like before, our star/enemy in the movie notices the cop, follows him, and I have to admit, this scene at the hot tub is pretty dang awesome. It's almost like too good to be in this movie, really. Because she follows him, she decides that she's going to wear a bathing suit and get in the tub, and man, she's got this ring that she's wearing. She just walks up between the two girls, pushes them out of the way, and starts kissing the dude, and they're all like, well, just do what you want to then, little slut, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she's got that ring, and she pulls the stone off of that ring, and there's a needle, and she pops dude in the neck, which obviously is poison or whatever. Dude's dying. Then she reaches over and, like, scrapes across the other girl's chest with that spike that's in that ring, that needle. And then she grabs the other girl and just chokes her to death.
Yeah. And then at the end of that, they're all just floating in the hot tub while she takes off.
She just takes off, goes home, does some aerobicize. I think that scene is probably better than anything else really in the movie as far as the way it's put together and shot. Looks good.
Well, I mean, and so, it was almost horror-esque at that point. Of course, then we've got to talk about the demon exorcism or the ninja exorcism.
Without a doubt. So the wolf cop is starting to think that there's a problem with his girlfriend. And
wolf cop. This guy's really hairy.
Hail Ming.
And it's not really that other people aren't hairy. It's just that he's like in a tank top every other scene. And it's like, man, I mean, it just by our standards today.
Right. You feel like
really
you could probably grab the guy by the hair on his shoulders and just pick him up and throw him across the room by it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's Moss Man.
Right. So Wolf Cop's thinking something's really wrong with my girlfriend, and he takes her to the incredible James Hong, who happens to be a ninja exorcist. So there's not many of those around, man. There's very few ninja exorcists out there, and they just happen to live in the same city as one. Man, he's got all the tools you need for a ninja exorcism. They stand her up and they tie these ropes to each side of her so she's almost kind of like held in place. Danny, go ahead and jump in and tell us about this ninja exorcism a little bit.
Man, so, the guy works for the cops and he's with the Asian division or something, the guy says. I don't know. It's but it's James Hong. He's got a little parlor where he does, kind of gypsy fortune telling work. And the guy's like, hey, I think there might be something wrong with my girlfriend. And so, of course, he doesn't think anything of it. But then, when he smudges her soul or whatever, he finds the demon in there,
right.
the ninja. I keep calling it a demon because you don't see a bunch of ninja exorcisms, so I just start thinking demon exorcism.
Sure.
But, yeah, he finds the demon, and he's like, you know what? This isn't such a hodgepodge shop. I've got these shackles back here. I can shackle up this demon, and and there's even a part where the ninja is like, "Hey, let me go," and he starts to try and let her go. Like, what are you doing? It's like, the spirit told me to let him go. But it goes crazy.
It really does, man. So yeah, a definite point to stop and watch. I mean, you can kind of scan through all this stuff. You're going to stop and see the deaths for sure. But this thing, man, I mean, they try their best to tie in all the things you know about the movie The Exorcist into this scene. Instead of flopping back and forth on the bed, those shackles we're talking about, the rope she's got tied, she just starts doing somersaults, and these ropes are just holding her in the same circle, and she's just spinning and laughing. She even does the thing where she comes up to James Hong's face and breathes like not fire, but like fog and smoke.
A dust, like
right.
A cloud, yeah.
Right. Her hair changes color, and you see some, changes in the face, and
I guess they thought, she's an athlete, so we can have her doing some like gymnastic flips instead of the head spinning around, or I don't know. I say just watch it.
Oh,
I can't.
Yeah, there's no words for it, folks. You got to check it out. I mean, you can say this about this whole movie, though. I mean, you have to see it to believe it.
To believe it.
Or not to believe it. So anyways, getting back to the story, he realizes he can't do anything. She even forces his body against the wall and sticks him to the wall. So very, very Exorcist stuff going on here. And then Sho Kosugi, we find out he hates cops too, so it must just be a ninja thing in general. They just hate cops. But he's a little upset because he's wanting to get to the bottom of this. He's there for a reason, because you get a flashback of this ninja when he was a normal person, a normal ninja, instead of a dead ninja. He was still pretty evil, and the reason Sho Kosugi is wearing a patch on his eye... I was a young ninja! So he knocks out Sho Kosugi's eye with a throwing star and laughs at him. So I guess you'd say this guy's a ninja bully. Sho Kosugi is not convinced that he's dead. He wants to see the body. So he goes to where they're keeping the body, and he pretty much just kills everybody that's working at the place. You know, he might could have just asked, and they would have let him come in.
Asking is not the ninja way.
I guess not, because he don't ask for squat. So
now we get to the cop funeral.
Where's the best place to kill a bunch of cops?
Cop funeral. So you know the ninja, the possessed ninja aerobics instructor murders a whole bunch with arrows and blow darts, and
they're all sitting around the gravesite, you know, and I think even Taps is playing, I don't know. She's just unleashing these arrows from a tree from across the road, dropping cops left and right. And you described it best. You said it's almost like the scene from Garth Marenghi's Dark Place when the guy's out there just shooting randomly.
Yeah. It reminded me of that a lot, actually. Yet again, it's something that wasn't supposed to be serious. But it reminded me of that. I mean, because the ninjas got the opportunity to finish this off and kill all the cops that killed him. So, you know, Kosugi, you know, chases the ninja from there to a construction site where we have some construction site ninja battle.
You got to have that in any kind of ninja movie. You got to get to a desolated area where stuff can fall and you can fall and all that good stuff. So
Right. And then, you know, we'll just push on through and say at that point they buy the story. You know, they let Kosugi tell him what's going on, and Kosugi goes and has the showdown with the ninja.
They take Lucinda and Wolf Cop, and they go to, I guess they go to Japan. Is that where they go? Where are they going?
I thought they just went back out into the desert where they got the ninja weapons.
I guess, but there's a big monastery out there. Where did that come from?
Well, because Kosugi, when he came to America, he went to that monastery, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know me," and that's kind of like his base camp on this side of the pond.
I knew he met him like at the airport, but I don't remember him actually going to the monastery. So I guess that makes sense. I mean, they just did that without having to actually go there, I guess. So yeah, they bring her there. Yeah. They bring the dead body there. And they make the spirit come out of her and go into the old dead body. And now you got some ninja versus ninja action going on. That is, I would say, very well done. It's got some good fight scenes in it. It's a ninja movie. They're fighting. And only a ninja can kill a ninja.
Only a ninja can kill a ninja.
That's right. So the ninja showdown is awesome. It goes on for quite a while. And in the middle of it, even though he's back in his old body, he possesses all the monks and makes them all start trying to kill Sho Kosugi as well. So he's kicking monk butt everywhere. Monk butt. So he's using those as a distraction. You know, the bad guys always got to cheat. That's just the way they do. So
that's how they do. Well, but he's a bully ninja. We've established that.
Bully ninja. Monk butt and bully ninja. Sounds like a 70s movie. Monk butt
bully ninja. I agree.
Hail Ming.
We need a t-shirt for that too, folks. Monk butt ninja. What was it?
I'm not going to wear a monk butt t-shirt. No.
Come on, man.
Maybe.
It's monk butt. Buy a bag, go home in a butt.
I think I remember that movie. Monk butt gonna kick the hell out of you.
Hey, that's good. I like that.
So did AC/DC.
Little AC/DC action there. Who did the soundtrack for this movie?
Hail Ming.
So Ninja Showdown's going on. You got a bunch of disappearing, reappearing stuff going on. They go outside because the monastery is just not big enough for a ninja battle.
Yeah, there's a point where the ninja like drills into the ground with his feet.
Wasn't that awesome?
Like he's spinning so fast. Yep. I mean,
you got to see this part. So at this point, what I want you guys to realize that at 1 hour and 26 minutes into this movie, Lucinda is now wearing a wig. I had to rewind it and watch it like 2-3 times. I was like, wait a minute, something really looks different here. So they did just like on Samurai Cop, where they went back to do, I guess, some pickup shots, and she had already cut her hair because she was going to be in, I don't know, Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo, maybe? Probably. At the same time, somewhere around in there. So she was going obviously back to the short hair, and she's got a wig. There's no denying it. It's a wig. So, and it kind of does the appearing, disappearing act as well, just like the ninjas do. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off, sometimes it's real, sometimes it's fake. Maybe it's just some cut footage where the whole thing was such an ordeal that it made her hair fall out, and there was a long, drawn-out process of, Sure. When you're possessed by a ninja, I mean, it can put your body through a lot of stress. So, yeah, her hair might have fallen out, and they just had to go buy her a wig. So, you know what does do a body good? Milk. You know what doesn't? Ninja. So, she runs up when the battle's going on. She's got the sword. She runs up and stabs the ninja with his own sword. And that's when he burrows into the ground, which causes an earthquake. I mean, this is how crazy this thing is. So dude starts burrowing down into the ground. It causes an earthquake. Shokasuke says, well, I just happen to have this grappling hook on. Throws it on the side of the mountain. Hangs up there. I have to say, this scene right here is what most people that saw it back in the day remember. Because he's holding on. Dead ninja comes and grabs his leg. Starts crawling up Shokasuke. Sho pulls out, I don't know, about a 9-inch long blade. And just jabs it right into the top of the dude's head, man. Not like in the forehead, but I mean like square on the top of the head, and just all the way down to the handle of the blade. Because Lucinda Dickey, she stabbed him, and it would have killed him, except what wasn't she anymore? She wasn't a ninja. That's right. She didn't have that strength. So isn't there a big explosion? No. There's like an esoteric explosion spirit bomb thing that goes off there. That's very, very possible. It is. There's like fire or something. It's got some big climactic, like the ninja spirit like explodes somehow. Right. And I want to reiterate that although we've played with some names or some songs or whatever that might have been in the movie, we are not making any of this up. No. This movie. This is Ninja 3: The Domination. It's bonkers, man. I don't see you regretting getting to just sit and watch this thing. If you like any kind of 80s movies, this thing is incredible. Watch it once. You might never want to watch it again, except for when you get your friends together and say, you've got to watch this thing. Yeah, it's crazy. This is a definite movie that you will show people, because it's just got so much show. You're going to show Kasugi some people this movie. Yeah, man, I love it. I think it's just, it's a rip-roaring good time, man. It's fun. You can't describe the stuff in this movie well enough. You have to see it for yourself. That's the best recommendation I can think of. Don't take our word for it. Go check it out, because you're going to say, yeah, everything that they talked about is in this movie. So, got to check it out. So, right. Rick, are we ready to give this thing a rating? Let's give this thing a rating, man. I give it 35 possessed monks. Well, and I'll go ahead and give it 17 ninjas drilling into the ground with their feet. Wow. And causing an earthquake. That's... Again, just one earthquake, not 17 earthquakes, just one. You got to see it. It's incredible. And you got to. Brian Blessed, what do you think of the greatest movie ever made? Die! He sounded pretty excited. He knows that only a ninja can make another ninja die. Die.
Hail Ming.
All right, we'll be right back.
Well, hello there. Do you need a special gift for that special someone?
Sure do.
Have you thought about what you might give her? A puppy? Hey, here's an idea. How about a star?
Oh, like one of those name a star thingies?
No, better. Totally unique, and she'll love it.
Some kind of jewelry?
How about a ninja star?
What?
And a sword.
I don't know.
Do you have a telephone line worker, aerobics instructor girlfriend? Nothing to give her?
What?
Shut up. How about this gift? Of Ninja. A glowing table light, throwing stars, caltrops. a magic demon sword? And if you act now, we can deliver it all by Ninja Courier. Or through a full-size stand-up video game in her home.
That sounds pretty random, but also perfect. How do I get it?
I said shut up. The only way to get the gift of Ninja for a limited time is to surround a ninja with shotguns and let nature take its course. On a golf course, call 1-800-NINJA-GO to deliver your very own gift of Ninja.
I'll call right now.
Shut up.
Evils abound, and the world is on fire. If you've been watching that devil box, then you've seen the latest attack for your very souls. Ninja possession. That's right, the devil put on his ninjutsu outfit and made that girl feel the wrath of the ninja star. Hello, folks. Pastor J.C. Winneman here. You may remember me as the preacher that saved that 10-year-old boy after being possessed by a sumo wrestler. And I cast him out into a pack of raccoons. And today, I'm here to tell you, brothers and sisters, the evil is back sixfold to destroy the world in which we live from day to day. But it can be turned around, for I have great news for you. Good news. Pastor J.C. Winneman is now the only certified ninja exorcist in the Tri-County. Gonna cast out a bad evil ninja. Woo! So if your loved one is dressed all in black, has a sword, listens to 80s pop music, and has a video game console in their house, give me a call and I will cast that evil ninja spirit out and throw it into a possum or something. Maybe a chicken, and then we'll fry that sucker. That's delicious. So don't delay and call. This is Pastor J.C. Winneman saying, change your ways before you set ablaze. All right, welcome back to the second movie of our episode 18 here. And this is a classic. And matter of fact, on the Facebook page when we posted this, and this is the one everybody was talking about. They were excited because we're going to talk about Remo Williams, man. And so this is just a classic. It's probably one of those movies that was a complete failure when it came out. But it got new legs when it was released on HBO and the VHS boom and all that stuff. So it's just one we grew up with, and we're both diehard fans of this movie. Just loved it, watched it so many times. So we're talking about Remo Williams, man. It's awesome.
Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. It also had a title of Remo Williams, Unarmed and Dangerous.
Right.
So, if you're over there in Britain, I think that was the going title over there for the most part. Fred Ward, Milford Brimley.
It's just fun. It kind of hit that sweet spot because it wasn't quite Die Hard or anything like that. It was a little more friendly. So it was just for the right age group. If you were in your teens or whatever, this movie just fit in there really nicely. Like I said, it wasn't a Die Hard style movie, but it had enough action and adventure stuff that you just got hooked on it, and you're like, man, I'd like to be Remo Williams. To go from there, Arnold's coming back. Give us another one. Arnold, take it away.
The Domination, also known as the greatest Ninja 3 of all time. The Domination Ninja 3, also known as the greatest movie.
He doesn't want to talk about Remo. He's still hooked on Ninja 3. You can take that for what it is, folks. Arnold, don't let me down. Take it away, man.
He's trained to become
there you go.
Extraordinary, unique assassin in service of the US president. 6.4 out of 10. It has the greatest actor of all time, Joe Dirt's dad. The quote to remember is, "It will be better for you to eat this can than what is inside of it. Why must everything in this country be coated with monosodium chloramate? You can't even say it." I can say rat droppings. That does not mean I want to.
I want to. He wants to drop rats, or he wants to rat droppings?
I don't know, man. It's Arnold. You know, you never know what he's really saying anyways.
I'll just reason to watch Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins. The Statue of Liberty.
Without a doubt.
There's a Statue of Liberty scene in it, kind of like North by Northwest fighting on the Mount Rushmore, where Remo Williams fights a bunch of construction workers on the Statue of Liberty. And if you are a child of the 80s or a child of the 70s who grew up through the 80s, you know that they resurfaced the Statue of Liberty, so it was covered in scaffolds.
Right.
And that's where this fight takes place. And it is unique, and it is incredibly cool.
Yeah. So just what a perfect stamp on that time is just having this in the movie. So it's a great scene too, what happens on there. We'll probably talk about it as we go along.
Yeah. I know I jumped a lot of the thing, but I just, that's my number one reason.
Oh, right.
Although Captain Janeway from Voyager, she's a good reason to be in there too.
Yep. Plays a pretty pivotal character in there too. I mean, it's that's the first thing I thought too. Is, hey, it's Voyager. All right. My number one reason is McCleary, which is the other partner that's involved in this. He's ex-military, I guess, or he may still be military. It's kind of questionable of what his role really is, but you know that he's a part of this team that's doing this underground work to weed out the bad guys and try to keep the country clean. He's just a bad dude. Matter of fact, he gives Remo his name, which is a great scene. In case you don't know, I won't give it away, but if you have seen Usual Suspects, it's kind of that situation of how he gets his names, if you know what I mean.
You know, the guy that you're talking about, it's got a fake arm, man.
Right.
I mean, it's his straight up Carl Weathers from Happy Gilmore kind of, real sturdy.
Except he doesn't say, "I got that guy's eyeball," though.
That's a good reason. I mean, the group Cure that he ends up being an assassin is really just three guys. Right. 4 if you include him. Remo Williams is a cop. Is a New York City cop.
Kind of a rough and tumble guy. You can tell he's not really taking good care of himself. He's just doing the regular, midnight beat or whatever, and he's drinking coffee and eating bad food for him, and that's the reason I had was this big mustache he's got. He's rocking this big fake mustache to the fact it's fake because he takes a bite of the sandwich and you see it like lift up.
Everybody I've told about this, I said, yeah, well, so Fred Ward plays this cop who gets killed in the line of duty, and they fake his death, and then they bring him back and give him a face they give him plastic surgery to look just like he did before.
Just minus the mustache.
Yeah, they kind of try, like, it's dark and he's leaning forward and he's eating stuff, so they make his face look kind of different. His eyes are squinty, but he doesn't look any different.
He really doesn't.
It's like, and he even makes a point. He's like, why do I look different? It's like, you don't, man.
What have you done to my face? What's wrong with my nose? It's like, dude, it's the same thing. I mean, it hasn't changed.
So obviously the whole thing, he's becoming a super assassin. So they wipe his record clean. He becomes a new secret guy. Yeah. So and they send him to go meet his trainer. It's Chun, and they actually send him to go kill him, which is a great scene.
Right. Well, let's just face it. Possibly the main reason to watch this movie is Chun.
It's I looked up some stuff about it today, and I found out that Joel Grey got a Golden Globe nomination for this. And considering the content of this movie, it's not anything dramatic. It's extremely bubblegum. Right. The fact that he got a nomination for anything, for also being in what would you call it, Yellowface? I don't know. Like, right. He's a white actor, right, who's playing a
Yeah.
Like Fu Manchu. And so, I don't think you could do that today. I'm not gonna say anything bad about Joel Grey for doing it, because he did a great job with the part, even though it was kind of a stereotyped part.
He's great in everything he did. I mean, you can go back and look at his body of work, and guy did some great work.
Yeah, I think the best thing he did was he had Jennifer Grey.
Well, I don't know about that.
Think I'm sniffing out what my rating system is going to be.
You shut up.
Apparently, Brian Blessed doesn't care for Jennifer Grey, so.
Well, Brian Blessed can suck it. All right.
Come on, man. Wilford Brimley and his supercomputer.
Wilford Brimley and a supercomputer, which
Right.
of course takes up a whole room because it has all the information about all the people in the world.
That's right.
He gets it from the post office. But this whole computer setup, it really looks like it's going to be the thing that makes the fortunes from the Last Dragon, where they're going to push a button, it's going to, the big
Right.
like rolled out the fortune, and like,
Right.
oh, it says I will take a long journey.
It was like the ticker tape thing, Yeah.
But I mean, that's what a supercomputer in the 80s, we're like, oh, look at that.
Right.
That thing could do anything. Oh, man. But again, he's a super spy. He's working for this super organization with this supercomputer. And Milford Brimley's in there. Hell, I've got the wisdom to run this whole thing, because I've got this mustache. They send him to they send him to Chun. Ostensibly, you're going to murder this guy, and he goes in and he's like, well, I guess I got to kill the guy upstairs. Hey, there's nobody upstairs. I guess I got to kill you. And Chun, dodges all of his shots. He pisses him off from across the room. He's like, I don't want to kill you. And he's like, well, no, I kind of do, because he insults him. And so Chun does this cool, like a bullet dodge, a la Matrix kind of stuff. Gets up and takes the clip out of the gun. It's something that later, after Remo has been trained, he does it.
Right.
And it's kind of he's arrived kind of thing.
Right.
And it's neat. They do like the meh kind of music, like the old kung fu music.
Right. So it's just a nice little setup, and it's kind of setting you up for, he's the, kind of like Yoda in a way. He's a human Yoda. And he's full of the wisdom. He knows how things work. His patience is at a level that's beyond human. It's just, I don't know, man. It just works. It really is what makes this movie work, because the relationship between those two is what you invest in. So what if he's just running around and he's Remo Williams and he's whipping a bunch of people? You find out that they really create a relationship together. And Chun is a bad dude, man.
He was just the martial arts grandmaster guy. That was the role.
Right.
That's all.
So that was kind of your setup of the team. It's a very small team, but you've got your information guy. Then you've got your kind of military background looking guy. You've got your guy that can train somebody to go out and do the battle. And then you've got the actual subject themselves that are replaceable. That's kind of how this system is set up. Remo's training is amazing. I love it when he's running on the beach and he dives into that pile of sand and comes out the other side and all this stuff. So it's all these kind of superhuman things, but he's being trained to do this stuff and getting to where he can run and not leave footprints. He's getting so light that he's actually running on air, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
So there's all these cool things going on in this silly little movie of a FBI kind of guy, really.
Oh, and early on, you've got this whole, he's being trained by Chun, and Chun tells him he needs to poke his fingers on this wood. He's like, put your fingers on this fingerboard and it will harden the tips of your fingers. And he's like, well, so what am I, so I'm just going to be up here playing with my fingerboard. Where do I put this anyway? So Chun just hammers his finger right through the middle of the wooden board, puts a hole in it, and he's like, find a nail. And it's one of these like, okay, he practices what he preaches. He's not just telling him to do all this stuff. He's actually done it, and he's this little badass,
Right. So just some greats. You got that, and then you got where Remo is starting to learn a bit, and he's doing the balance test where he's jumping up on the post and the poles and all that stuff they've set up in the room in there. So basically, they've locked themselves away. All he does is train all the time with Chun. This is all that's going on. and he teaches him and some pretty impressive stuff. Jumping from pole to pole like he's doing, it's all based off of balance. Then he gets to the top and thinks it should be all, celebration kind of thing, and then Chun says, okay, do it again, and then he turns the lights off. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, you can't trust what you see. You got to go by feel. And that didn't work out too well.
Yeah, I love that. As a kid, I remember wanting to set up those posts in my house, so that I could do that. Like, I totally wanted to do all that.
Right.
And it's every kid's dream to go train and become awesome badass and work for this elite little force and do all this. That's what the 80s were about for these action movies.
Right.
And I read again too, and I knew this going in, that Remo Williams was based on one of those. It's like those pulp novels, those actions called The Destroyer.
The Destroyer, yeah.
And it's a series of novels that have been going on for 20 years before then, probably longer. And they were hoping that it would be a series of movies that would go on. It just didn't catch on.
Just didn't catch on, and it all hung on that first movie. So reasons to watch it. The training coach from Rocky IV is, guess what? A bad guy.
What?
Yes. He's a bad guy. So he just looks like a bad guy. But my favorite bad guy is the guy with the diamond in his tooth.
Yeah, diamond tooth guy.
Diamond tooth guy.
so yeah, reasons to watch it. You got Remo being reborn as an assassin. You got Chun training him in the ancient ways. You got a great fight that takes place on the Statue of Liberty because he goes up there to meditate, and somebody hires a bunch of construction workers to go beat him up, and of course they are okay with killing a guy.
And I want to say something on that real quick too, because I was watching that and I wasn't paying attention, but the dude's just counting out the money, and he goes, 297, 298, 299, 300. And I thought, you're kidding me. These guys are going to go kill a person for $300? And I got to looking, and they were all hundreds. So for $3,000, which means there was three guys that got $1,000 a piece to go to go knock off a guy that's on the scaffolding at the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, priorities were seriously skewed in the 80s. They needed their cocaine money. So yeah, they go out there. Well, it works out well for Remo. He gets some extra training out of the deal. But and Remo is a very flawed character. He's like, he's scared. He's not super spy yet, So reasons to watch it. You got a great henchman with a diamond tooth.
Yeah.
Who you just want that guy to get killed.
Yeah, you can't wait for him to get knocked off. So
he might as well be one of the white boys from I Come in Peace. You hate him so much.
And I love the scene when you first see him and he's taking the pictures and Remo's out in front of his car and he honks and says, "Move!" And he walks up and chokes him. That's when you get to see the diamond. And then the lady cop that comes up to him, "Sir, you need to stop kung fu-ing that young man's throat." And that's a great scene right there. So he ends up taking care of some business. But there's one scene in particular. Remember when he runs across the concrete and it's still wet?
Yeah.
And the other guy runs through, and of course he falls through. But there's a dude that looks like Snoop Dogg, dressed up like a construction worker. And he makes a face like, "Ooh, I didn't expect that."
Well, yeah, and the guy just gets engulfed in concrete, and they don't go to help him out or anything. He just kind of gloop, like he's gone.
Right. So just cover that up, smooth it out, and go on about your day.
It's like, how many people were refurbishment of the Statue of Liberty? But yeah, I mean, and he runs across the thing, and again, you're showing how fleet-footed he's becoming under Chun's tutelage. And there's a point where the guy comes to him and says, "Hey, we need Remo for a job." He's like, "When's he going to be ready?" He says, 20 more years. And he's like,
15.
20 more years.
He tells him
15 more years.
Yeah. He says 15 years. He's like, 15 years? He's like, if I cut some corners, 14 and a half.
But he borrows him for a cool, like, here's another reason to watch the movie. He borrows him for this infiltration mission where they end up going toe-to-toe with some Doberman pinchers.
Right. Smartest dogs on the planet, man. These things are awesome.
They kick some butt. I had to show my wife this because she used to have a Dobie, and they're great dogs. But, I mean, I remember this from a kid. Like, this was the only thing I'd ever seen him in, and it's like, man, these dogs are the smartest dogs ever because they trick, they pull down a ladder and they chase him. He thinks he's got him fooled a couple of times, but
right.
You can't stop him unless you have a fake arm.
Next reason to me, I mean, we're going to jump a bit, but the whole gas chamber scene, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to me, that's what this really comes down to. That's my favorite scene of this whole movie. Because they've captured Remo and our lady hero as well, and they're trying to knock him off, and they put him in this chamber. They trick them thinking that they're walking through to go look at something that has to do with this gun issue that's been going on. They put him in this chamber, and the door is shut. The gas starts coming in, and on the other side, looking through some safety glass, is Mr. Diamond Tooth.
Yeah.
Snarling out.
I hate that guy.
Oh, so I'm not going to reveal what all happens there, but it's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
It's a great escape scene for
awesome.
sure. Like, using what you have, available to you at the moment.
Right.
That's what Remo does there.
So, needless to say, they get out, but I'm not going to tell you how they get out. But it's pretty dang awesome.
Captain Janeway.
And I also want to say, during their escape, if you want to call it that, and when they get out, they find Chun. They decide they're going to steal like this delivery truck, and there's a couple of redneck guys that are changing a tire or whatever. I think the rear end's messed up, or brake lines, I think is what it really is. But it's at 1 hour and 42 minutes into this movie. You got to see the overdubbing right here, because there's one guy that's kind of got his back to the camera the whole time, and they overdub his voice, and it's just the worst. How do you think you gonna fix that, Ruby? And you can tell this guy would not talk this way at all. And so that's just something to look out for. It's a little comic piece in there that, I don't know, I just kept watching over and over and just laughing out loud.
Well, and speaking of which, like, a reason to watch Remo Williams is the comedy. I mean,
sure,
all the interactions between Chun and Remo, it's not serious at all. They're always trading quips, and Chun talks about his first of all, he watches soap operas, and there's a little shtick about that, and then he's got a technique to get women that he tells Remo about, and it doesn't come to fruition until the end, when it's really just he taps on her pulse and she goes unconscious. Which, I mean, it's funny though. It's a really humorous kind of thing. The jokes go throughout the whole thing. The humor is there. The acting is there. Right. It really wasn't as well received as it should have been. Right.
I think people just didn't know what it was, and of course you were getting these kind of movies kind of left and right at this point, all kinds of, action hero kind of guys and stuff. So it just seemed like maybe if this one would have came out a little earlier, a couple of years earlier or so, it might have done better. I just think they were kind of over flooded with these kind of movies at the time, and I think that's what hurt it. But it's still fantastic. The ending, there's a lot going on that ties this whole story together. We've skipped a lot of the actual story of what's happening and why they're chasing this particular person. Again, don't want to reveal too much. We want to leave some of the mystery of the story to you guys to check out. But I still think it's very well done. The action sequences are great. The truck crash, when they run that delivery truck off the edge because the brakes are out, and it's just a mangled mess down there, almost like Large Marge described, right?
Yeah.
And they go down there and they can't find Chun. He wasn't thrown from the vehicle. So they start digging through, and he's just compacted where this vehicle's just crushed him in there, but it hasn't hurt him at all. It's just like he's in a cocoon or something. Right. And they just rip it open and just pull him out. And he makes some comment of he went to jump out and he pulled the door handle off. And he said if it was in Korea, this wouldn't happen. Yeah, door handles don't come off in Korea.
Of course, at the end, he also runs across water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he talks about the ability to do it the whole movie. Again, it was one of those things, and finally he does it, and it's great. He doesn't look like he's running fast at all. He just kind of little short guy chucking across the water. And
I call it the Chun run.
Yeah, he's kind of running like Velma or something. He's got little high knees going on. But it's great. And, at the end, I'll always remember a kid watching this, at the end, they hire him to get rid of this guy, and it's supposed to look like an accident. It's always with these guys, it's supposed to be like flawless. So he hijacks this lumber, this big like log carrier, and it goes across the thing, and
the zip line log is what I call it. It's such a weird thing.
Where they're moving this lumber around,
right.
and he unhooks it at just the right moment, and it lands on the guy's truck, and it just blows him up, and it's like, it looks 85% like an accident or whatever, and it's just like.
Actually, he falls. There's another stack of logs that are sitting there, and he hits that, and they all roll down and crush the dude's vehicle. But they're shooting at him the whole time that he's on this zip line log, and he's like going around to the opposite side. It's almost like, it's one of those things where it was a handy accident at the end when he drops the log, and it just kind of worked out that way. And he's like, yeah,
right.
I meant to do that.
I think he did. He was pretty bad by the end of it, so I could believe it.
And then the main bad guy's got the gun, and he's pointing at Remo, and he's shooting. And guess what Remo's doing? Dodging bullets.
Just like Chun.
Just like Chun, walking up. He can hear him pulling the trigger and the responses, so he knows when to move and when to come up, and he keeps getting closer to him. And he does the exact same thing where he flips the gun up, kicks the magazine out, and just flicks the bullets out with his thumb. And he's like, yeah, I'm Remo Williams.
It hasn't been done that well since Ernest Goes to Camp.
Ernest Goes to Camp when he says, oh, look, a family of badgers. And there's one thing you never do to a family of badgers.
Yeah, Ming.
It's a great movie, guys. Ernest Goes to Camp is incredible. Oh, I'm sorry. Remo Williams
Goes to Camp.
Remo Williams Goes to Camp.
Ernest, the adventure begins.
There you go. Crossover movie. There's something we haven't done yet. A crossover movie like that. That'd be awesome. Freddy and Jason. Whoopity-doo. We're talking Remo Williams and Ernest Goes to Camp.
Remo versus Ernest.
There you go.
I don't know who would win. I just don't know. Because on one side you got Remo, and on the other side you got Ernest, and then you've got Chun on one side, and then you've got that guy that's trying to make the eggs erroneous, who does the sound effects on Hey Vern, It's Ernest. That guy,
right? That
guy's crazy. He's got crazy eyes.
He used to be on Hee Haw.
Yeah, we all did.
All right, man. We kind of shortchanged this movie a little bit, but this movie is awesome, man. I highly recommend checking it out. It's fun. It is 80s Americana of the time, so you can't go wrong with it. It's entertaining. Fred Ward. This is how I know Fred Ward. He'll always be Remo Williams to me.
Yeah, you got Fred Ward. You got gun dodges. You got Chun as the Korean assassin.
Aretha
you got
Franklin.
The bad guy with the diamond tooth.
Right.
You got the fight on the you got Aretha Franklin. You got Leslie Nielsen. Oh, lots of bombs in the air. You got the Statue of Liberty being rebuilt. You got some just really, really cheap assassin construction guys.
Snoop Dogg
watching a guy get buried in concrete, doing nothing about it.
Right.
Yeah, a whole sequence at the end in a military base with Captain Janeway, where some people get killed in some sketchy accidents. You're right, we are shortchanging it, but it's just you got to watch it.
Right. Yep. So
go out right now.
So I say rating time.
Rating time. Oh well, I give it 6 Jennifer Greys.
Oh gosh, I don't know if that's good or bad.
Dirty Dancing.
Oh no. Part 6. Buy a bag, put it on her head.
You need to lay off Jennifer Grey.
Oh, trust me, I would, because not a fan. Not a fan. Even
Part 7.
Even though
Ukuleles in Unit.
Even though she was in Red Dawn, I don't care. Even though she was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I don't care. I've got to give it.
Doing all right.
I'm gonna give it 7 construction workers that will kill somebody for $1,000
with a diamond tooth.
The diamond tooth. I give it 17 diamond teeth. And Brian Blessed, what do you think about this movie?
Oh well, who wants to live forever?
He likes them both. He likes both movies.
Well put. Like that one angry guy.
They took our job. All right, we'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Big D, and this is Big D's Monument Construction. We do whatever. Do you got a job for us? A giant copper monument that needs a face lifted? Scaffolding stacked as far as the eye can see? How about that punk up there meditating? Hey pal, what do you think this is, the Dalai Lama's house? We do it all, from fixing Lady Liberty to offing some bum who thinks he's Gandhi. Hey, what are you doing over there?
Walking over here.
Well, I'm talking over here. Give us a call day and night. We may not answer at night, though. Give us a call at 155-GET-BENT.
I'm Randy. I'm a cop. I do my job the best I can. They made me leave and start to live with the Chinese man. I guess he had no friends. He eats rice and he wears big pants. But when they disappear, where does they go? I hope right back to Mexico. I've been living 15 years with the Chinese man. Little bitty guy, it ain't no lie. You can fit his whole body in a garbage can. Doesn't say hi, how are you? But he can kick your butt with some Fu Manchu. Little Chinaman, little Chinaman, little Chinaman, you're cool. What do you think about that one, Charlie? It's a pretty hot number, huh?
Well, Randy, he's not Chinese.
Well, of course he's Chinese. I've seen your poster. I know what he looks like.
But have you seen the movie?
No, but I don't have to see the movie to write a song about it.
I recommend that you watch it because he's not Chinese. He's Korean.
He's what?
Korean.
What kind of crazy mumbo-jumbo movie is this anyways? You're just making up stuff. Nobody's heard of Korea.
It's a real place, Randy. It's real.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Well, it's
There's
real.
no such thing.
It's
That's
on
what
the
it says, that where Santa Claus lives.
No, it's a real place, Randy.
I don't know who Remo Jenkins is anyways.
Okay, that's around.
You're just upset because I dated your sister.
All right. That was fun. A lot of work, a lot of stuff to go through. Some of these, this movie here in particular, I kind of had to go through both of them twice to just kind of capture everything. There's too much stuff thrown at you at once. I can't say it enough. Ninja 3, Shout Factory, Scream Factory, has actually put out Ninja 3 on Blu-ray. I don't know if that's a wise decision.
I don't know how much quality you really want with that, but yeah.
Right, but that just kind of shows you that they feel like this movie is one of those that people talked about back in the day. It's a lot of fun. I guarantee you, if you see it, if you like any of that style of movie, you're going to be showing this one to people over and over. It's just incredible. And then Remo Williams, as far as I'm concerned, is just a classic of that time. So, two fun movies. One's a classic, one's a cult classic. How about that?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more that there is a cult to Ninja 3, and they're all possessed by ninjas.
Right, a bunch of monks. It's a monk cult.
Monk cult. Kick some monk butt. But and Remo Williams is an awesome movie. It's got some great actors that you've seen in other things, and I like Fred Ward. It's hard not to like him.
Right.
Yeah, they're both great movies in their own right. They're both action packed, and they're both worth a watch for sure.
Absolutely.
But that's like you said, it's a lot of work to try and distill it down to, what exactly makes it tick, because these two movies are kind of hard to define.
Lots of fun. You got to check them both out. That's why we're here, is to tell you to say, hey, you need to go check these out. So some interesting things coming up. We are about to get into October here in a few weeks, and we are going to do a run of horror movies that we're both fond of. If you have any suggestions, throw them out there on the Facebook page. We'll consider them. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we discussed a number of the ones that are coming up, so we do have some ideas, but you might have a better idea.
Right. We've got some special guests lined up to come and talk to us on some of those. So looking forward to that and getting that part of it. That should be a lot of fun. Everybody knows I'm a big horror nut, so kind of looking forward to getting into some of those. We've touched on a few of them here, but this is going to be a big run of just stuff that we both really like that fit in that category, and what a perfect month to do it. So also,
like I was going to say, like Phantasm 3.
Heck yeah. I like all the I'd like to do all the Phantasm movies. Especially,
I like all the Phantasm movies too.
Phantasm 2, the Olympics,
starring Jaws from the James Bond movies.
Yes,
and I'll see you out in the parking lot.
Hail Ming.
That's awesome. So we got that coming up. Also, if you were involved in our private group on Facebook, we did a poll for a fake movie. We brought up ideas of what movie do you wish there was a sequel to that never was made, that should have been made? And that turned quickly into a psychotic idea of, okay, name your sequel that you wish was made with a tagline. And then we made a poll where people could vote on which one's the best. And it turned out that Princess Bride Part 2 got the most votes. So next episode, we are going to do a fake review with a fake synopsis for a fake movie. It just seems to keep going downhill as I keep saying it. It's going to be interesting. Let's just say that. It should be a lot of fun.
Suffice it to say, it's going to be the best movie ever made.
It pretty much could be, besides Ninja 3. So basically, Princess Bride 2 is basically Ninja 3 Part 2.
Ninja 3 Part 2.
The Princess Bride. There you go. I feel it coming on. So we haven't really decided yet what we're going to do to fill up the other gap for this show, but we've kind of got an idea. So you may have to check in on that. It may be a total farce episode. How about that?
It may be farcical.
Farcical. The new Turner farcical.
That's what you call it when it's farce. It's farcical.
Farcical.
It sounds weird when we keep saying it. That's for damn sure.
Is it something you keep in a box in the freezer? Hey, hand me one of those farcicles.
Give me one of those farcicles. What's it flavored like?
Cherry farcicle.
Ooh.
So that's it, folks. Episode 19, the farcical episode.
The farcical episode.
Also, guys, if you're not in the private group, just say you want to be in there. We'll throw you in there. Don't forget to check us out on iTunes and leave us a review and a rating, because if you're going to help this show in any way, that's the best way to do it. Don't forget, we're cranking these things out on YouTube as well. Having a lot of fun with that. Some good feedback off of that. People are really enjoying seeing the episodes. So that's a lot of fun. We got Twitter, Instagram, all those other things. We're out there, folks. Just find us. Keep listening. Tell your friends about it. We're having a good time.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
If you don't tell your friends, I think that's probably the best way for us to grow and to be able to quit our day jobs. So just tell your friends.
Better tell said, your mom.
Anyone who's listening at work, of course, I'm not going to quit my day job.
Hail Ming.
There you go. All right, folks, till next time, take care of yourselves. We'll see you around the corner. Take it easy. Yeah.